Good morning, everyone. Today marks the first day in a period the Church has called Lent, the 40 days leading up to the celebration of Easter. The very first Christians observed with great devotion the Lord's Passion, which is his suffering, and his resurrection, and they began to prepare for those important days of remembrance by a period of humbling themselves before God, recognizing their sin, their need, and their mortality, by giving special attention to prayer, the scriptures, and fasting. Today, the very first day of Lent, is Ash Wednesday. Why ashes? Well, again, ashes are a reminder that from dust you came and to dust you shall return, which is what a priest or a pastor would probably say as he makes the sign of the cross over your forehead with an ash-dusted finger. An outward sign which marks us as wholly dependent on God for our very lives. Maybe you'd like to give some thought this year as to how to prepare your heart for Good Friday and Easter Sunday. On Monday, Cindy Pursue gave us a good challenge of reading through the Gospels. Perhaps you would choose to do that, and maybe things like cutting something out of your life to focus on your need for God. If you choose to do anything to commemorate Lent, remember that all spiritual disciplines, whether prayer, meditating on scripture, silence, fasting, confession, are for our sake. They help to sweep away other distractions so that we can focus on God and ask to receive from him. They don't grant us favor with God. Rather, they put us in a place where we're open to receiving the favor that always flows from him toward his children. Even so, sometimes I've seen the celebration of Lent get rather dark and dour with an overemphasis on our sin. So I'd like to bring you to Exodus 33, where Moses, on Mount Sinai receiving the 10 Commandments from God, has asked God to please show him his glory. Wow, what a bold request, huh? In response, God says, I will make all my goodness pass before you and will proclaim before you my name, the Lord. Moses asked to see God's glory, and we expect body-flattening flashes of terrifying, unapproachable light, or maybe something like that. But what God seems to be saying in his answer is that his glory is his goodness. Remarkable. And so, in Exodus 34, Moses recorded this. The Lord passed before him and proclaimed, the Lord, a God merciful. Now, you can go ahead and read the whole passage, but I want to stop just at the beginning of that verse. The very first thing God says in this amazingly humble self-disclosure is that he's merciful. Not that he's holy or justifiably angry about his people's constantly turning away, or that he's all-powerful, but that he's merciful. Where he could be holy and distant, he's drawing near. Where he could be justifiably angry, he's full of tender pity. Where he could be proclaiming his power, he demonstrates the compassion of a gentle mother to us whom he's made. In the Gospel of John, Jesus, in his encounter with the woman caught in adultery, is the embodiment of God's mercy. Yes, she has sinned, but so also has the one who sinned with her and is glaringly absent from the scene. And yes, so also have all the men who just dropped stones with which they were preparing to judge her and take her life, and who had to admit that Jesus was right in saying that no one is without sin. Jesus says to the woman, now alone with him, has no one condemned you? And she says, no. And now the only one who has a right to condemn her, to condemn us all, the only one without sin, says, neither do I condemn you. Go, and from now on, sin no more. This is the glory of God. This is the goodness of God, this God of mercy. So whatever you do for Lent, if you choose to do anything at all to observe the season, keep before you the God whose glory is his goodness, who, when he sees us covered in our sin, our weakness, and humanity, kindly stoops down to us to pardon, to cleanse, and to heal. Have a blessed day.